Hi guys, and welcome to another episode. We are on episode 14 and we're going to talk about afternoon tea. We are your hosts, so we've got Melina, Amber and Azaria. So I just thought I'd start off with just a question for all of us. So is afternoon tea something that you would do often, or is it something that you're not really interested in? Azaria, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't usually have afternoon tea, honestly, but I think it's something that I want to do more often because obviously you get time to spend more time with other people and your friends and enjoy like the same food together. So yeah, it's not something I do often.
What about you, Melina? Do you do it often?
Before the pandemic and before lockdown, it was something that I used to do, especially around like big events like people's birthdays, things like that, because it's a good way to just like catch up with people.
Yeah.
Especially if you have friends who don't like drinking as well, because it still has like the social aspect and it's a bit more fun than just going for lunch or something. So I quite enjoyed it. I didn't go a lot, but hopefully, like, you know, as I become more and more of an adult, I'll be able to actually go out more to do that kind of thing. What about you?
When COVID decides to end. Afternoon tea myself, I do it when obviously like we've got breaks or holidays for people's birthdays, as you said, different kind of events, and just to go out to socialise with people. I think it's like something that's a little bit different compared to like just going to a restaurant for a meal. Just something kind of like a bit more sociable and just something that you can kind of look forward to, and you kind of already know what's on the menu because most places give you the menu beforehand. I just think it's something different. So do you guys prefer sweet or savoury? Azari, what do you prefer?
So I'm more of like a sweet kind of food person, so I don't know, I kind of go straight for the sweet things and then I'll mix it with savoury every so often, so I lean more towards sweet things anyway.
That's kind of cool. What about you, Melina? What are you, sweet or savoury?
That makes so much sense for Azaria though. always with the sweet. I like a mix, honestly. I'm probably like right in the middle because I like to have like my sandwiches and stuff and then have my sweet things, but then, you know, have like a palate cleanser to go back to. Because I feel like sometimes sweet stuff can be like a bit sickly.
Yeah.
You know, like I talked about with white chocolate. You can have with like butter if you wanted, or you can have them plain if you like really want that.
Plus obviously you've got cheese scones as well. What do you think your favourite items from afternoon tea are?
I think in terms of like a specific item, I just really like the different types of desserts that are on show, because I think with afternoon tea you get to try a lot of new ones or things that you probably wouldn't have bought if it was in a bigger portion. So I think for me, like the desserts are quite good because you get to try new things. Like I remember you and I went to an afternoon tea that was Japanese themed, and they had some matcha brownies, and I really liked that, but I hadn't really had matcha before. So for me, just having, you know, a small portion, it really allowed me to sort of try things out.
So I'd say my favourite thing is probably jam tarts, because I'll always go straight to them, and the ones that Amber's made before are probably like the best I've had, and I've had the odd afternoon tea with jam tarts. They've been okay, like they taste manufactured, and then Amber's actually taste like really nice and homemade. So yeah, jam tarts in short, really, from, you know, Western cuisine.
I think my favourite items again is scones. I can't not live without scones. Scones is just my life. And it has to be one with sultanas in, I'm sorry. But I like sultana scones. Clotted cream and jam. And I got to put that butter on underneath as well. Some people don't do that. I've got to have all 3 layers.
No, that's just too much. But comment down below, do you like sultanas in your scones? What would you have with yours? Do you have cream and jam? Do you have butter, cheese? I don't know. Is there anything else that you'd put with a scone? Yeah.
Is there any places that you fondly remember going to for afternoon tea? Melina, do you have any thoughts on that one?
Ooh, Betty's in York.
Mm.
That's top tier, honestly. It's one of the best. I think, I don't know, I just really like Betty's as a whole. It's such a cute little establishment, and they have some absolutely amazing desserts. And I love the atmosphere, and it is just like a proper British tea house kind of thing. They have really nice desserts, and they have like some really good sandwiches as well. I think they did like a salmon sandwich with like cream cheese. I didn't try that, but I think my sister did, and that was really nice. And I love the macaroons as well. I know not everyone likes macaroons, but I always get a box when I go there.
Yeah, but they have their
as well.
bakery section, don't they? So you can get all the like sweets that they make.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get a box of macaroons, and I get an egg tart for my grandma.
That's cute. Azaria, do you have any places that you fondly remember going to for afternoon tea?
I went to one place in Sheffield called Andrews, I believe it was, with my friend from my course. And believe it or not, she was my only friend from my course because the people in my course weren't very nice, unfortunately. So we went there after studying at the library. And although taste-wise it wasn't like the best thing ever, it was just really nice because we were just generally having a bad time at uni, and it was just good to take a break with some manufactured sandwiches and plastic tasting jam tarts. But yeah, I'd say that's probably one of the fondest places, other than having afternoon tea with you at some point.
That's true. I mean, mine's obviously like I think it was my 16th birthday. I know my mum will probably watch this, but we did an Alice in Wonderland themed afternoon tea party at my house, and my parents, like, if I can find some pictures, I'll put them in. But they dressed the entire kitchen and dining room into Alice in Wonderland, and they did like a little afternoon tea inspired Mad Hatter tea party. So I just thought
so cool.
Yeah, and they had like the fake grass and the cards and stuff, and I just think that's something that kind of sticks with me. Obviously, Betty as well. Betty's is obviously one of I think the most famous in England, if I'm not correct. Like Betty seems to be the most famous for afternoon tea. Like when you
at least in the north.
Yeah,
I don't know about the south, but yeah, for the north, I think Betty's is that kind of it's like a proper English tea house compared to things like Starbucks and Costa, which are obviously more franchised to do with coffee. I think that's the only one that's like properly to do with tea that's become sort of a big thing. It gives me sort of Bake Off vibes. That's true. You know, like really wholesome.
Yeah, it gives me Mary Berry vibes. So Azaria, what type of theme do you think you prefer with afternoon tea?
Well, what theme would you want to do, Azaria? Do you think? Have you got any in mind?
I think the Alice in Wonderland one sounded interesting, actually. Like now that Amber mentioned it,
you'd like it because jam tarts.
Oh, jam tarts! That's
who
exactly
ate my jam tarts?
I'll be the Cheshire Cat, and I'll just eat all the jam tarts. So I'd probably lean more towards fantasy, not just Alice in Wonderland, but like fantasy themed afternoon tea more than, I don't know, real, in quotation marks, real life themed afternoon tea, I guess.
That kind of makes sense, yeah, trying different themes and like into different worlds, I would say. Melina, what kind of one do you prefer?
For me, I think I prefer sort of the gastronomy based ones. So, you know, the things where they like really mess with the food. I think I've seen some where it's like where all of the food is in those like little cylinders.
Oh yeah.
Or they're all like, it's basically just like little bubbles or something for each course. And it looks super weird. Love dry ice. I feel like an absolute child when I'm around it. But I saw there's an afternoon tea available at Cutter and Squidge in London, and I love their desserts anyway, and they have a great vegan menu. but they do a Harry Potter afternoon tea, and they've decked out their basement to look like a potions lab. So I really want to do that once, obviously, I can travel to London.
That kind of sounds interesting as well, just to see what they kind of do with that.
Yeah. And would they do themed food, or is it just sort of the atmosphere? Because then obviously you get people who dress up as well, which I quite like. I like the idea of having a theme that you can like really get involved in, things like that, and like fairy tale ones.
Yeah, that kind of makes much sense. Myself, I think I do like the British ones, but that Isso one that we had, the Japanese, that kind of was really interesting to me, because it was just like a different level. So they've kind of mixed the Japanese style inspired and taken a British thing, so afternoon tea obviously being a British kind of culture, and just mixed it. But one thing I would like to do in the future on that term is in Japan, they've kind of taken the British theme of afternoon tea, and it seems to be quite a big thing to do over there, and they have themed cafes and things to go with afternoon tea. So I think that's something that's kind of cool to see, that other cultures are kind of taking that in.
I mean, I'd love to go to it's either the Robot Cafe or the Robot Restaurant, which I don't know if either of you have seen.
Is it the Gundam?
Yeah, I've got a picture of the Gundam Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do like they do dinner service, and they do shows in the middle where they basically have like a parade of all these robots, or like people dressed as robots, who sort of go around the middle, and they have like a little like mini battle thing. And honestly, it looks so crazy. I'll probably add a clip to the YouTube or Instagram, but it's something that I definitely love to do. And I love how Japan and Korea have sort of taken those themes to like the next level.
Yeah, they have. They really have taken it to the next level, and that's something that I kind of like, that they've kind of made it a little more perfect compared to like English. So we've not really changed, but they've kind of changed it to be more of an entertaining event rather than like something from the past that we've obviously just integrated into culture.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's useful as well, because when you travel that far across the world, you don't want to be doing like the same kind of thing that you would do in England. So I think it's good to have like a couple of differences.
That's true. So the kind of like the final question I kind of want to ask you guys is tea/coffee or prosecco/champagne? Like, which one would you rather have? Melina, what's your thoughts? Which one would you rather have?
Honestly, cocktails.
Cocktails, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not massive on prosecco. I don't mind. Is it mimosas where it's like basic? Someone's gonna hate me for saying this if I'm wrong, but is it just like orange juice mixed with like prosecco?
I think so. Or is that Bucks Fizz?
I think that's Bucks Fizz.
Or is it?
Yeah.
It's champagne. Champagne and citrus juice, usually orange juice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that kind of, the sort of brunch type thing. But like you said, when we went to the Isso one, they did a really nice green tea, which I think worked with the food that was on offer. So because the desserts were incredibly sweet, so having something that was very neutral, I think that really helped to sort of balance everything out. So I do think it depends on like what type of afternoon tea you get to what you should drink. But personally, if I have a choice and I'm not driving because I don't want to be causing any accidents, then I'd probably go for a cocktail.
Yeah, that's fair enough. What about you, Azaria?
Based on the options, I'd say tea, but I'm usually more of a soft drinks or fruit juice kind of person anyway. So I'd kind of lean more towards like orange juice. Although some people would call it like childish, but if I bring the orange juice and someone else brings the champagne, we can make, Bucks Fizz or mimosas, and I'll just have the orange juice. So I think it's a win-win situation if I bring the orange juice too.
That's a big brain move.
I'm just galaxy brain out here, okay?
And for me, I think English breakfast tea, because I've got to stick with that. But I'm not gonna lie, at Betty's, the Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee, it slaps. I'm sorry, but that is the best coffee I've ever had. So if I could have that, it's expensive as hell, but I would really like to have that at some point again in my life.
I'm gonna sound like such a coffee snob now. I have gotten like really into coffee over lockdown, but like, what are the? I can't believe what I'm gonna say. What are the like notes in it?
I think is it Wittard? Wittard?
Yeah,
they do it.
Love that.
They do it, but it's really it's like £25 for a small bag.
Damn. What kind of like flavors is it?
I'm just trying to have a mooch now, so because it's one of the rarest coffees in the world. Right, okay. Where would it tell you this?
Not a clue.
It says lightly roasted to taste of herbs and spices, honeyed fruit and floral notes, and crisp, elegant finish.
Oh, that's quite a lot going on.
Yeah, but it's really nice. Like, it's the best coffee. It's like, apparently it tastes like jasmine and peach, but it's a light roast.
Ooh.
A light, full-bodied roast.
That's nice. Weirdly, I've really had like a massive craving for peaches recently. And I've started buying loads of like tinned peaches because obviously they're not in season yet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And honestly, out of any of the cravings I could have had, I'm glad it's something that's like moderately healthy. And Amber has also recently gotten a new teapot.
Yeah.
From is it from Japan?
Yep, it's from the Pokemon Center. It's the Spring Collection 2021.
Ooh, reppin'.
It's beautiful.
So you'll probably see some pictures of that as well on the Instagram and YouTube.
Yep, so you can check that out at Flaneur Talks Podcast on the Instagram. And we have the Twitter as well, that's Flaneur Talks. And we also have the YouTube, so if you want to like and subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications. And comment as well, any chance to talk to us, we normally answer anything. So if you just want to talk to us on Instagram or on the different socials, you can do that as well.
Yeah, if you've got any questions or suggestions for future episodes, that would be great. And obviously, we're also on Spotify and Anchor if you just want to listen.
But yeah, so I think that's a wrap for this episode. So thank you guys ever so much for listening. And again, comment down below what's your kind of favourite afternoon tea, or whether you would come to the UK and try it out as well. So I think that's all from us here. So goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.